Hello, friend. Ooh. Today I thought I would talk about a little bit of nail education. And while I chat, I'm just going to do things such as open this package and other things. So what am I going to be talking about today? Manicures. Where is it opening? I keep seeing online people talking about manicures. They'll say, watch as I give myself a manicure. And then they give themselves something like this, which is not a manicure. A manicure involves very specific steps. Let me liken it to you like this. If you went to somebody to get, what's it called? To get your makeup done, it'd be like you saying, look at me, get a facial. They're two completely different things. And that's what this and a manicure are like. So as mentioned, a manicure has very specific steps. It involves cuticle treatment, cleaning the nails, shaping the nails, and there's always a water element. Again, it'd be like if you got a facial and you didn't actually have any water, your skin wasn't cleaned. Well, I'm not really sure that'd be much of a facial. So it's a similar thing with a manicure. If there's no water involved, did you really get a manicure? So with a manicure, there's some nice water. Usually soak our nails in there, our whole hands actually, but this water's a little shallow. So we soak our hands so that the nails and the hands can be cleaned. So you're essentially coming in to have your hands cleaned, nails shaped, cuticles taken care of. Oh, this water's very lovely. Super hot, but I love super hot. If it's not burning your hands, it's just not hot enough. And it's got that beautiful rose milk bath soak with Epsom salts, and Epsom salts are really somehow magically good at removing dead skin. So manicure, very specific steps, soaking of nails, cleaning of nails, You can, at the end of a manicure, get your nails polished. An application of nail colour. Some people will get a manicure and not have any polish. You can also have a manicure and then get a gel overlay, but then you're talking about two completely different things. Manicure includes hand washing, and a deluxe manicure includes a hand massage, hand, wrist and arm, forearm massage. Very relaxing, very deluxe. So I'm not actually going to give myself a manicure today. I really just wanted to put my hands in some warm, lovely warm water with some rose milk, also moisturising on the skin. Just to give you an idea that if somebody's doing something and it doesn't involve water, it is not a manicure. So moving the bowl aside. Drying my hands. Let's move on to some other types of nail applications, of which there are many. So we have a gel application. This is a moderately hard gel, viscous, sticky I would say. You can get even harder gels, they're almost like a putty in a clay. Then you've got a more liquid gel. Goes on like a polish. This is cured in a light for 60 seconds, and this is cured in a light for a minute and a half. Sometimes 2 minutes, sometimes 5, depending on the gel. Then you've got biogel, which because I can never get the lids off, and it doesn't help that I just wet my hands. And these gels are kind of runny, got nice colour payoff, and they're also what I like to jokingly refer to as baked in an oven. So yeah, this is part of the manicure, scrubbing your nails. Then we have acrylic. All of these applications are plastic based. And so this here is a very fine powder. You dip your brush into some liquid, monomer it's called. Dip the brush in here. What if I could capture the sound of this on the microphone? Let's have a look. Where is it? There we go. Hardens on the nail. Then you've got S&S. You paste the base coat on, dip your powder or your nail into the powder. The powder is very similar to acrylic powder but finer. And all of these things are called an overlay. When I first started doing nails, they were called enhancements, because you're pretty much taking your natural nail and enhancing it. Still really hard to get open. Need to do more cutting. They've really squeezed this in good. Or as us Aussies who speak good English like to say, goodest. But wait, you also get more tape. Scissors, all bodgy and broken, but they work a treat. No need to discard a sharp pair of scissors, even if they are no longer perfect. Stick. Why are these things always so hard to get open? That one. It's a bit too noisy. My new lamp. Oh, it's way tinier than it looked. Oh no. There's the lamp. This part is the lamp. And so that'll sit above the table and glow down. Because the lamp I currently use will at work come and make an appearance. Sits to the side and causes too much shadow. So on this side of the nail there's too much shadow, hard to see. So I got this new schwanky finger one. I shall set that up later. And so on with our edumacation. We also have nail extensions. So what I have right now with my nails is an overlay on my natural nails, hence why the sizings are different. This hand always breaks. This hand not so much. So these nails are longer. But once upon a time, I had short nails. And I put this extension on, stick it on like so, and then give yourself the overlay, and then that grows out. You got your natural nail. Hence why it's called an enhancement. We're enhancing your natural nail. And there are a multitude of different tips. These ones are white. Called a French tip. I don't know why. Do the French always have white tipped nails? Who knows? So when you put these on, it's called an extension. But you're still getting your overlay or enhancement. Let me see if I put this light on my old light. Yes, it's very shadowy, see that? I feel like I'm about to cast a spell. And there's these ones. They actually didn't come in this container, but they're really cool. They're a nice, clear, long, oval shaped nail. Can you see that? Might be hard to see. But yeah, these ones are really cool. And with these ones you can do a gel X extension, which is kind of like saying ATM machine. You put a little bit of gel here, put it on your nail, put it under some UV light, it sticks to your nail, you've got a gel extension. And there's also a thing called Taco. I guess because you're tacoing some colour in between the gels. With Taco, you paint on a gel layer, you put a colour powder on, paint on some more gel, so you taco that colour in between. So here we've got sort of a more natural coloured tip. I like these ones, probably because if I can hold it. No, he's running away. Because the C curve is nice, and sorry, the arch, that's the C curve. This part here is called the C curve. So I would say I have a fairly decent C curve. But the arch of this is nice. I like that because it resembles how my nails grow naturally. They curl like talons. Come on, baby, you know you want to. And so then we've got a more yellower tip. So many different tips. So many options. These ones are slightly thicker, more square at the tip, which really doesn't matter because usually we're taking that off, reshaping. And then you've got these random tips. They're more a full coverage tip. So you can see tapers at the end, so you'd kind of put it over your nail the whole way, like so. thing I don't like about these ones is that they're so yellow. But if you're going to get an acrylic or something over the top, you barely see that. And there's also another nail application people don't talk about much. Fiberglass. It's incredible. Same stuff we make boats out of and insulation. You get this fine strip of mesh, put it on your nail and do this kind of fiberglass application. They're actually a more older style of nail enhancement, and they're renowned for being very natural and thin looking. When you have them on, you can barely tell that you have a nail enhancement on. Or in these days case, an overlay. So as I said, if I get a manicure and then at the end of that manicure I decide that I want some gel, SNS acrylic, I have then had a manicure and an overlay. If I just give myself a gel acrylic SNS, I've just given myself an overlay, not a manicure. And you can see here there's some growth in between where the nail was, where my cuticle is. When I fill that in, it's either called an infill or a refill. And then you've got something else again, nail art. So colours like this and their little diamantes would be called nail art. There are so many cool things you can do with nails. This has been opened before. Yes. No. I don't know. I probably haven't used it before. These are acrylic paints, so they can be put on your nails. Let's put a little blob there. Why is it not closing? Let's say that this has solidified. There we go. Still doesn't want you. So let's imagine I've got my fingernail, I've painted a base layer of lacquer, whatever colour, clear, pink. Leave it up to the imagination. And maybe we want to go in with some nail art. So and what I'm trying to do here is paint a kind of whitish and pink petal. Then you can let that dry, go in with some green, etc, etc. So it's just a basic design for nail art. Admittedly, I'm not really trying to do a good or professional job. I don't have my lamp yet set up. And so you can do nail art on acrylic gel or even a nail varnish, base coat, followed by a nice little flower on top, something like that. So yeah, that's the difference between a mani and an overlay. And I think one of the reasons people are calling manicures that aren't manicures manicures. Get your head around that one, people, that was funny. Is because in this day and age where people can watch all manner of YouTube videos and learn amazing things and do amazing things with their nails, they're not necessarily nail technicians, qualified, trained nail technicians. And so they're calling it different things. J for Joli. Yeah, they're using incorrect terminology. And I just wanted to talk about that because as a nail technician, it kind of drives me nuts actually. People will say, oh, I love your manicure. It's not a manicure, love. It's an overlay. Or others will say, I'm giving myself a manicure and then put gel application. Again, not a manicure, love. It's a gel application. So yes, I think I've covered all of the bases. SNS, fiberglass, acrylic. Some mark of my scissors, can you see that? I can see that I tried to use my inscribing thing. An engraver? Yeah, engraving. Yeah, so if you have any questions, drop a comment below. If you think I'm being nail police, drop a comment below. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you found it somewhat educational.